Hey everyone, Jan King and Sprinkles Nixon, ready to talk to you? Yes, all about all kinds of good things tonight. Sprinkles.
Yes.
How was your week?
It was cautiously done.
Because the solar eclipse?
Well, yeah, and it just seemed like people were just vibrating erratically, if that's possible.
Yes, I feel the same way. I do. I feel, I don't know if I want to, I didn't know whether I wanted to be out there or hiding.
I know.
And I just feel when I was on any social media, I thought, my goodness, can the negativity get any more blown out of proportion?
I've seen that too. So yeah, it's like, what is with these people?
I know. I'm not even going to go there because if I do, we'll be banned. So
we'll be banned from social media all over the place
forever. But I know we could talk about a lot of good things. But you know what? Sometimes, and there's that word, but. That doesn't work. But is a bad word.
Bad.
Oh, I have to bite my tongue now. Oh gosh, there I go.
All right, now you're talking about the BUT word, but right? I hope.
I know you told me we're going to laugh tonight.
Yes. Well, we're throwing in a little laughs here and there.
I think a lot of laughs. I feel. Do you feel that most individuals out there,
mm-hmm.
do you think they laugh very much?
Well, not the ones that are so strongly vibrating off this erraticness. Those that are able to, I don't know, those that are able to sense that they don't want to get involved with certain things, they have to apply a little bit more because it is erratic. And I don't know if that had anything to do with the eclipse, but I tell you, it was strange. It was really strange. I did come through it, with sailing sails. So I did okay.
With flying colors.
I glided through.
Oh, I just feel that it's just out of control.
Yeah, but you know what? It'll settle down. I mean, if they apply common sense to things, I think they will find that there's another way of looking at things instead of having, what do you call that, tunnel vision?
Mm-hmm,
you know?
Yes.
Turn the tunnel vision off and try to gather as much as you can for their understanding, not just taking pieces and running with it.
Exactly. That's perfect. That's perfect. Yes. So, okay, Cassidy, I think overall, I want to talk about this last week. I can't believe it's already gone. So there are obviously no others.
Oh, a little cloud.
6 months.
Oh
yes.
My gosh.
Yeah.
This will go to 6 months, that's what you're telling us, right?
Yeah, I believe that's usually when it's solar. So it may not be 6 months, but the wind is on right now. Because they started a long time ago. The problem is that the energy is out. It's always about letting go. And I know I say this all the time. I say it in my blog. I say it when I talk to others, and they look at me and I go, well, it's about letting go. And it's about walking through, if you have fear, which I'm not going to talk about a lot tonight. We'll do fear, but fear, because fear is a really disempowering word. We'll talk about it tonight. But down the road, I feel we may win some part of fear. It encompasses the world, and the energy is out of control because of everything's fear.
Is it like a shadow eclipse? They call it shadow eclipse, what it is?
Yeah, it's partial shadow. It's not a full the total. It's not a total eclipse. And it was in your and it was where it falls in your astrology chart, in your natal chart, is where you would probably be affected most. And it's whatever doesn't serve you in that part of the chart needs to be let go, released, revamped, transformed, whatever you want to call it. But mainly released. So, for instance, in my second house, which is what about self-worth. Maybe I didn't like myself well.
I like you. I love you.
And it's how I make my own money, my resources, and values. But maybe there are many things in that area in my life that I still need to look at. Yeah. Not need intend to look at. That's way different. I don't know what they are. I have time to do this. Have you planned to do it?
I do it.
Look at the card and see where it is.
Oh, yes.
It has to be.
If it's in the thing of cancer, that's very emotionally deep.
Yes.
So that's really to me right off the bat, and then to see what I have in that sign, and I have the Robinson sign,
Oh.
and my children represented in that sign. So I was really, I mean, it was a miracle happened. Sometimes they would along, but they didn't. Let's go to the poop I just coming today. The thing is, we worked with it. It was perfectly fine. It turned out lovely. But it was we started trying again. They were all tight, but the time come out because why they're out.
Okay. But that was about your creativity. You were saying you need a tweak.
Oh, I did. I did it last week. I'm here today.
Congratulations.
Following to our language codes.
With this cancer, numerous studies, Jupiter, Scorpio, and Neptune in Pisces have the most trying aspects, which means that bottom line is about activating things that we getting your power together and bringing out your creative power, your imagination. That's not part of it. That's a part of it.
Yeah.
So something that where it falls in the heart, look at how that the sensor in and see what it is that may want it to out. And so you can do it has to be released, but also in the meantime, there's something that you process power and take yourself in a sub-direction. That's big imagination and creativity.
Yeah.
Yes. Cool. Okay. Language codes, yes. And that, I just want to say the one that I got it from was language codes, and it was by Bill Johnston. So I just want to say that, so I'm stealing in my information here.
Okay.
So I'm giving him credit.
Who's the author again?
It's Neville Johnston.
R.
Neville Johnston.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so if anybody wants to look this up,
yes, it's a great book. It's just a little book, but it's gives you a lot of information and it's very concise. Okay. And it made it fell off my shelf. That's why I picked it to talk about.
Okay. Well.
Okay. All right. So to move on into continuing with the disempowering words, I believe did we talk about procrastination the last time? I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I so dislike procrastination. I'm not taking that as a good word. That's a empowering word.
do you? It is so disempowering because what are you about? Even listening or anyone that you're doing, there's something you're putting off that you just aren't going to. You just tend to wish to deal with. Sometimes I don't know.
That's always not like a word for me because it's like I like to do it, get it done, and get it out of the way, kind of thing. But I can also understand when people procrastinate. That is because they may not have a full understanding, or they're limited on time. Whatever it may be,
yes.
But to constantly procrastinate is not a good thing. I don't think.
What's that? Say that again.
Constantly procrastinating is not a good thing.
No, not at all. I think also that you can, if you know what you choose to do, then why would you not wish to do it? I tend to procrastinate at times, but I think it's when I get so many things going on, I think my head spins and I think I'm not doing anything. I don't know if you ever get that way, but you probably are very much different than me.
Okay. There are some people in the chat room on Facebook that are having a little trouble hearing you. So I don't know if you could turn your mic up or... My
mic is as far as it goes.
Okay. Let's see if
let me just see. I can push it up all the way. It was just about all the way. It's now pretty far up, as far as it can go. Can you hear me better?
Well, I still hear the same. So what I did was I'm going to up my volume because you're coming through mine. So hopefully that will be of help. So let us know, Diane, if that was better. Okay. All right. Now, also, Peg wanted to know, what was the name of the book again?
The Language Codes. Can she hear me?
I think so.
Okay.
I typed, but I don't know where I typed because it's not there.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it went through now. Okay, so the first word was procrastinating.
Yes. And now we're going to go to I have a list here, and some of them I'm not going to even bother with. Because I'd rather go into empowering words down the road a little bit more. There's one like, let's see, anger. Let's do anger. Anger. How about when you're
anger?
Okay, so what if somebody that you're really angry, you're like raging, and then someone enters the room, and all of a sudden you don't feel angry anymore. Why is that, do you think?
Well, maybe because that energy came through and sliced it, so that it's cutting you off from that situation or person or whatever. So if you're open to the positive, you're going to feel that right away. So, and as far as angry, it is very rare that I get angry, but when I do, boom, because I have an Aries moon, boy, I'll get angry and poof, I'll get it out and it's over, it's done with, and you won't hear no more about it.
Well, that's how I feel too. It's like an instant. I'm angry. It's not even angry anymore. I think I'm like annoyed.
Yes.
more annoyed.
Yes.
You know, because I remember I could get very angry many years back, and now I just really. Anger's about missing information. There's something missing. So ask for it. What do you think you're missing if you're angry?
I'm missing the fact that I cannot punch the person in the face. No, I'm only kidding.
Not a good thing.
No. But, angry can be also very good and very productive. So just like with everything, there's two sides to it. There's a positive and a negative. So angry can really be positive, don't you think?
No.
No? Why not?
Because
it can make someone stand up for themselves. I don't mean physically angry. I mean
all right.
Angry. So people can know that they're displeased with something and maybe even turn around and say they are. I'm upset, I'm really quite angry, and I'd rather not go further on this kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
I understand. Yeah, I could see that. But you know what? Do you know that fear is the root of anger?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
So what was I afraid of? Well, that's the thing. What if that is the basis of anger, fear? But how can that be? Because you can know what you're angry about. Do you know what I mean? You know what you're angry about. You know what how you're feeling about it. Because when you do become angry, you have that energy in you, and you have to get that energy out because it's no good. Don't you
think that if you get angry, that there's a fear, that there's some kind of fear lurking? I'm saying.
It could also still be a positive, Jim, because
anger is not positive. None. No. Zero. Zip. No, I disagree.
Okay, well, I don't get angry.
I don't have a problem. We could talk about this, and I agree with what you're saying. What he says in his book, and I'm not saying it's right. It could be totally off. That the moment fear is recognized, it is dismissed, and there is no more anger. There's no more anger.
Yeah.
Think about it. I'll tell you why. I'll think of something here. Like, what if you're in a say, let's go a relationship, and you're in a relationship, and I'm not saying married. You're dating, and you have the guy is saying one thing, and you're saying something else, and all of a sudden he gets ticked off, and you don't have a clue why he's ticked off. Okay, and he doesn't know why. Well, it comes out he's afraid of making a commitment. So once he recognizes that he's afraid of this, he's not angry anymore.
Okay.
That's one example.
But if he doesn't know what he's angry about, then why be angry? I mean, don't
He's angry.
Go ahead.
No, go on. Go on.
When somebody's angry, don't we need to know at least what it is that we are angry about?
Do you always know that? I don't.
You don't always know when you're angry. I know I hardly become angry, but when I do, I do.
I understand that, and I agree with you. I feel that at times, I'm not saying at the present moment or lately, through the years, I've gotten angry. It was just, I don't know why I was angry. I just got really ticked off about something because somebody acted a certain way and I didn't agree or blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, when I look back, I thought, well, what was that about? And then I thought, well, I could see why it could be about fear. I could have been afraid that they were going to make me look like a jerk, or they're going to make me look like I was incapable or a failure, or, well, anything you could think of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone's afraid. There's always a fear about something. And I'm not saying you have to have fear, but on some time in your life you're doing this. And lately I don't remember being, maybe a little fear here and there because I let myself go there. But most of the time it doesn't exist. And for instance, what's going on? I'm touching on this for 1 second. What's going on in the world? Am I fearful? No.
Right.
Okay. So therefore, and I don't think you are either. No. Okay.
Okay. Well, Diane,
okay.
Chat says, isn't angry healthy because it lets you know what you're feeling other than happy?
Well, it lets you know. Well, it's good to. It's a good indicator. It's not good to be there, but it does come up because we get angry. It's a disempowering thing to do. But when it does show up, it's saying to you, hey, what's the underlying thing here? Mm-hmm. It is about fear. It's connected. There's no way you can not have a fear with anger is about fear. I could totally see that. And I'm not saying you have to agree.
Yeah, I know.
Just I feel that if you just investigate a little bit on it. That's all.
Well, I do feel that there's some truth to that as well.
I'm not saying it. I don't agree totally with it. I do see some connection.
Okay.
Understand. Okay. Okay.
I just want to add this. If you nip it in the bud, then you ain't gonna have no anger. Just take your scissors with you and chop that baby off.
Well, can you? How about if it goes like this? What if something's happening, like in a workplace, mm-hmm. and something is brewing? You don't know what's going on, and you're starting to feel a little bit maybe uncomfortable. Maybe there's some fear coming up because you don't know what's going on.
Well, see, no, I wouldn't think it would be fear. I would think it would be an awareness that takes place when something is not right. Am I right?
Well, no, I agree with that.
Okay.
Yet there is something there underlying
yes.
fear. I know because I went through it. Okay. And I remember being aware, but I was also a little just pulled back a little bit because I think, what's going on? And I started getting this little dance in my head and I stopped it, but I noted. Now when I look back, I thought that was fear, total fear. Yeah. And then I would get ticked off, about nothing. Mm-hmm. Oh. So that's why I'm not saying it's all the time. I'm just saying it depends. I think it depends on the circumstances.
Yes, I agree. It does. It very much does so.
Okay. So do you believe you should hope for something? Hope is a disempowering word. Hope.
It is
Yes.
disempowering?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I can kind of understand that. Now, I don't know how our listeners are getting into this, but the purpose of hope is to see light at the end of the tunnel of sorts. Is that?
Well, yes, except does it ever get there? It's like a doubt.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm just saying, I'm just relating to what he says, and I'm just sort of putting it out there to see what we can come up with these things. You know, how we can what we can do, how we can work with this. And to some degree, I say hope sometimes, and I think, well, maybe that isn't a good thing. You know, because hoping for something, does it ever get there? No.
Yeah, it's
No.
like wishing, and you might want to be careful about the wish you make.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I avoid the word if I, in most cases.
Well, what would you use in place?
I choose. I intend. I not believe. Let's see.
I'm open-minded about things.
Oh, but yeah, you're open to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would think something like that.
Okay.
Okay. Need. Let's talk about need.
Oh, need is what you're already putting it out of the picture, because need is saying that there's something
missing. Yes. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, I got one right.
No, no, it's not about right. Come on.
Oh my God.
Well, how about if you say, God, I need money. Then what happens?
You're not going to get it.
You're right.
Right.
Because God's smoking a cigar and he's saying,
well,
what do I look like?
Well, I have to cough. But with that, you need, right? It's need. So if one stops having a need for something, but to be content with things, then their contentment will grow. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I do too. If I am content with the way things are, I allow it to be.
Yes.
I find I'm more content with other things that are coming in, because it kind of eases the flow of things, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, that's like, for instance, I need love. Really? You are love. You are love, so what do you need it for?
Yes, exactly. I don't know if anybody else is putting in on that, but you know what? Let's take a little break, because we're right at the time. And I'll play a little thing here or something. What was it going to be? Okay, I'll play this. That's not what I was going to play, but we're going to play this.
Okay.
All right, be right back, people. Don't miss it. Uh-oh. What happened to that?
What happened?
Here it comes. Some producer, I tell you. Hello and welcome back to Wizards Within. I'm here with Jan King, and we're speaking about empowering words, okay, and disempowering words.
I just have like two other words that we can use for the disempowering, so we can move on to the empowering ones and maybe help others get there.
Okay, but wait, one
okay.
second.
Go on.
There's some things in the chat room.
Okay.
Diane says, and that something within you needs to be looked at to maybe heal. That was in reference to anger, I believe.
I agree. Good point.
Yes.
Good point.
And Diane then says, as for hope, is hope to help keep you going, giving you the sense that there has to be something better on the horizon.
And where do you end up?
I don't know where. I didn't go. No, but what she's saying that is again, I would say by keeping an open mind instead of hoping.
I would say open mind. Yes, allowing open mind.
Yes.
That kind of hoping. I never encountered something happening when you hope, and I know it's out there, and everybody hopes. I don't know. I've never seen it in my life that if I hoped for something, I ever got it. I didn't. Never.
Right.
Never. Mm-mm.
Okay.
That's just my part of it. You can keep hoping, and I have no problem with it. I'm just saying that I don't think it gets you too far. It gives you, because then there's a doubt could enter. Like what if something doesn't happen? Then you become doubtful about everything.
Mm. Well, yeah. Well, like tonight, I thought because where I'm at, I have the monsoon season happening.
Uh-huh.
So I really wasn't hoping that it wasn't going to rain. I was more okay. We're going to do this. This is going to work out good. It's going to go through. So it replaced that hope into again either something that I'm willing to have come about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
Or,
exactly.
Being open-minded that anything can happen.
Mm-hmm. Yes. How about hate? You know what hate? Hate.
I hate that word.
Okay. What we hate is what we recreate until we love it. Until we love it. So if you hate something, until you love it, you're going to have it all the time. It's going to be in your face.
Well, yeah, I can agree with that too, because it's, if you're going to hate, there's no, you're cutting off the possibility of love entering it. Okay,
Yes,
hate
yes.
is a terrible kind of. It's almost like what did the butchers use with that the big square blade? I forget what they got. Well, it's a chopper. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it is a chopper, and it leaves nothing open to. What's the word I'm using? Come on, Diane, help me out here. It does not do a body good. Put it that way, because that word, that feeling to have, is affecting your body as well, and that's not making you feel good at all. So it can turn and affect your stomach, your digestion, everything. So it's. If I was to feel that way, I would. I don't know. I don't think I really hate anything to that point.
I don't either. I don't either.
So,
do you know anybody through your life in all those years that you've been around? And I think back on my life, I know people that actually hate. I know people that hate.
Oh.
I mean,
what? No. Are you talking dislike or hate?
I'm talking about hate.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Hate. You know, do you think that?
Yes, I've seen that myself. I have to agree. I've seen that myself, and I felt it, and it's not something. I don't know how to say it.
Do you see it now in the world? I see it all around me.
Yeah, yes, but it's okay. The environmental circumstances of things taking place are making it so much more crazier that people are getting more and more frustrated to turning that into hate. And hate is the worst thing that anybody needs. Nobody needs that. So I'm going to say that's a very disempowering word.
Yes, it's one. I think it's one of the more disempowering words.
Yeah, and Diane, we ought to have Diane come on sometime. She's pretty good. She says
we could do that.
Yeah, it leaves it at full stop, nowhere else to turn or go. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm tired of the disempowering.
Okay, do the
let's move on.
Okay.
Just let me say one thing. How many out there have jobs? I had a job. You had a job. We all had jobs sometime. And there still have a job, right? You know what a job is?
No.
Just over broke.
Just over broke. What do you mean just over broke?
J-O-B, just over broke.
Just over broke.
Meaning you're just over, you're not broke, but you're just over broke.
Oh, I've gone beyond broke.
Yeah. Well, you could do that too.
But, all right, so what if it's not a job, it's a hobby? So would that be an empowering word, hobby?
Hobby, yes, or yeah, I would think so.
Okay.
I would think so. And if somebody says they have a job, it's more, he refers to something called effortlessness, which is an empowering word, saying, how about I make money effortlessly? And which I think would be great. And I move through traffic effortlessly. Because you know how people drive. I know how I experience it out there on the roads, whether it's in places that you think aren't going to have any traffic, and all of a sudden there's a traffic jam, and you think, oh, instead of getting upset and angry and going beyond that, I am moving through traffic effortlessly. Okay, there you go. So do you believe that loving yourself is the same as loving others?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you know that a lot of people don't?
Why?
Because a lot of people don't love themselves.
But maybe because they're not aware of their uniqueness. They're not aware of their individual successes. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Maybe there's a need for recognition, that they don't love ththemselves, that because nobody recognizes them or stands out. Okay, so that would be depression, which is disempowering word.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So go ahead.
Okay. I'm just skipping around here. Imagination. Imagination.
I love imagination.
One of the most powerful things in the universe. Okay?
Yes.
And why do you think that is?
Well, it gives one a challenge in a way, if you will, to see if you can do something and to work at doing that. And the imagination is, God, you can imagine just about anything. And then the best part of imagining is seeing it happen. So there's a positive result from creative imagination.
Perfect. Perfect. And the more you imagine, the more probably you don't need a job because you're doing something you love so much, right?
Yeah, my hobby.
Yeah, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, well, all right. See, what empowers me is that I love bringing people together to have them show their creative imaginations, show their skills, because the uniqueness of all of that is it's such a vast, long possibility of what people can do. And I've seen this firsthand. And if their imagination can be activated and they can start to create things and then see it come about, it's the most beautiful thing there is, to me anyway. But so yeah, creative imagination is very empowering, I believe. Limitless.
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
Diane Jane said limitless. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
There's many possibilities. And we all have that available to us. And a lot of them don't know that.
I believe you're right. I believe that totally, because I could talk how many people I could talk to through the last months, and sometimes I sit and I go, really? Oh my gosh, what I want to shake them, and I don't say anything because I feel it's not up to me to say anything. I might just mention a little blurb or a little clue, but it's not for me to do that. You know, I don't feel like that's that to me is interfering. But if you could give them something to just maybe bring awakeness to them a little bit, you know, the awareness.
Yeah, to catch an interest, to catch an idea.
Yes,
all that. And, you know, it's with that, it seems like even with the internet, I do believe sometimes that people are bombarded with the stuff that comes off.
Yes.
And they can't make a decision. They can't make a choice.
Well, I think they're afraid to at times. I think there's a fear there. And I don't say everybody has that fear, but I think at times the confidence isn't there. In some time, I knew at one time I didn't have confidence. I thought, well, I don't have confidence. What's wrong with me? Yet I did all these things all these years, and now,
see,
you know, but I didn't even think about it. I just did it.
Yes.
And then you get into a rut. You get in a rut, and you think, how can I do this? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I like it too, because it puts you on a journey of seeking as much knowledge of things as possible.
Yes. Knowledge is the word. Knowledge is the best word there is. And that's because you know. It's not about what you learn, it's about what you already know, and it's just remembering that part of your, part of you.
Yes. Yes, and what you've seen and what
Uh-huh.
experience, I believe, is the best teacher. Because
Yeah.
when you are experienced in something, you've lived it, you felt it, you maybe had dinner with it, whatever. But the thing is that if we can relate this with others and to others, then we have empowered those people that find that link to want to know more.
Yeah, exactly.
Did I
How
say
about,
that?
yeah, did you say that? Who did you channel?
I don't know. It comes out, and if those that know me, I'm very jolly, happy-go-lucky, and I just love it when things are coming together, because I love gaining knowledge from others, so that when I do too. My favorite saying. Okay, let me just put this out there. My favorite saying is that when you learn from others, you also learn of yourself, because you have this person there that's before you, and they can be the most fascinating or maybe even the most dull, but you learn something. You do learn from interacting with others and that experience and what it brings you. And again, that it just opens up doors. So what would be the empowering word there?
Well, I'm just.
Is it in your book? No. All right. So what?
Well, it's trusting your own. Trust is an empowering word, and you were saying about. So it's about trusting yourself in some ways, and it has nothing to do with anybody else. So that's, you know what I'm saying. Because trusting yourself will lead you to helping others trust themselves. You know what I'm saying? By you being secure with yourself in your own safety, little part of yourself, then I think what you're saying is that your own, that part of you that's, you know, something that comes out, like it just came out now, what you just said. Okay, so why did you say that? Why did you even bring it to it just came out. I'm not saying it's a total thing about trust, but that reminded me of like a trust thing, because you trust yourself to say it.
Well, I trust in my guide, and sometimes my guide brings these things in, and I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Did I say that?
Well, of course, yes.
It occurs through different situations, environments, and stuff like that, but it's always different. It's the reason why I brought it out was, I guess it's something that that is needed to be shared, and that's how I always kind of go over with things, is to be able to share something so that we're all on the same level. We're all, you know what I mean? So it brings together. It brings others together. All right. What's the next?
How about choice? How about choice?
That's open-ended, I believe. No?
Yes, it is. Yes. It's almost like it's up to you.
Yes.
It's like the choice, but choice is a good word. Choice is empowering, and it says, I'm just trying to think of a good. I don't know how to. I guess most out there, a lot of people act out of unconscious programming. Okay, they just go ahead and do it. Okay, it's not like they think about, they don't choose to do it. They're on automatic pilot.
Yes.
So I think choice is good, because you have to pull back a minute and say, so am I going this way? Am I going that way? I have a choice to do it. You always have a choice.
True. That I
Right?
believe. We always have choices before us.
Because I think if you don't have a choice, then you're programmed. You have programmed yourself to not give yourself the opportunity to make the choice. You're stuck. You're stuck in some other little, like stuck in a box, or I don't even know how to describe it. You're stuck somewhere. Because if you can't make a choice, then
it's limited.
Then where are you? And there's, I'm telling you, probably were times in my life I couldn't make a choice. I just went along with the program.
Mm-hmm.
But this is why I'm saying, I mean, did you ever not make a choice? You just went with it? And you just
yes.
went with the program, right?
Yes. And when it was a positive result, I'm grateful for it. And it seems choice can sometimes be a good possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, it could be not such a good, but we learn from it.
We learn from it, but the choice is always there.
Yeah,
we need. We don't need it. We allow it to happen because it takes us where we want to go, or maybe we go on the detour and learn a few lessons, but we're back on path and we're going forward anyway.
Yes, well, learning about
we're still
that choice
learning.
that's being made, whether
Mm-hmm.
you can apply that by choosing to accept the choice's result, and either move on or not move on.
Right.
Okay.
Another word is faith.
Oh, faith. Yes.
Isn't that a great word?
Yes. Faith is a great word. So, all right, go ahead, go with it. Tell us about it.
Faith is when you know it will work out perfectly.
No.
Yes. Because if you have faith, it always works out. Absolutely. I put my money on it. I put millions on it. Faith, if you have faith, it will work out.
Uh-huh.
Perfectly, in the sense of, now, is it the way that you want it to work out? I didn't say that. But it will work out perfectly. Got it?
It will be what it will be.
Yes, exactly. But it's not negative. It's just what it will be, what it'll be.
Yeah. Okay, sada.
My mother used to sing that to me all the time. I thought, what are you doing?
But that is very good. And that song, in the era that it came out, was very good for others to have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to listen to that. And it made them more mellow and easy to flow through the troubling times.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. Do you have one more? Because we've got about 6 minutes.
Okay. Let's see. How about okay. Remember we talked about, I just want to bring there are a couple other ones here, but let me just see. Intimacy is the ability to see into each other. It doesn't have to be in a love thing. It could be intimacy, so that you can see into the person you are speaking to, who you are allowing to be there. Meaning, like if you're talking to somebody and they open to you, that's intimacy. You're allowing them into you, into me. You know what I mean? Into each other. And I'm not, and it doesn't have to be a love affair or anything like that. So intimacy is a very positive, powerful word.
Yes.
And I think that it's not just about relationships. It's about connections.
Yes. Like some would say their soulmate.
Yes.
Okay, because the vibe there is encompassing on both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and that energy of intimacy goes very deep. It's encompassing the two people that well, let me explain it this way. I will make my husband a sandwich before he even asks me for it.
Yes.
Because that vibe is still active, that connection is so active that we are in the field of their energies, that the intimacy doesn't have locked doors, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
About that.
Yeah. Okay.
And he puts out a welcome mat for me. I'm only kidding.
I wonder. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, intimacy is it can be very deep and evolved. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
But the strength of it is another thing.
Oh, yes. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's all different kinds of intimacy. Into you, into me. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel? I feel that many times there's blocks to it, because even in friendship there's intimacy.
Yes.
Okay, and many do not allow this to go. You know, if you want to, I feel if you have really good friends and they allow you to see them as they are,
Mm-hmm.
and then that is beautiful.
Yeah, no facades.
Yeah, no more no games. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So it's a clear current, if you will.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I like that. I said that too, didn't I?
Where do you?
I don't know where
I have to.
I'm open to you. That's what it is. I'm open to what is coming at me. Go ahead.
I have to say one thing. It's just I was talking. We only have a couple of seconds here. I was talking to someone the other day, and they said something. They said that I was always laughing. I said, well, years ago I had a little session with I think I did not a past life, but I did a spirit guide kind of regression thing, and one of my spirit guides is like an 8-foot joker.
An 8-foot what?
And he wears a big hat.
An 8-foot.
And I'm not kidding you.
Wait a
because
minute.
I don't know why I never was like this, believe me. So I don't know whether he just came in later in life, like in a few, like back in my 30s or so, because I had it done probably in my, probably around in my early 40s. And I'm thinking, what the heck? Where did you come from? And now everything is, I think it's a joke, and people look at me like, are you kidding me? What are you laughing about?
Yeah.
Because you're funny, that's why.
I can resonate with that, yes.
Can you? Oh, good, I'm glad. I knew you could.
Well, thank you. I didn't know I could, but I did.
Well, just remember that changing your language changes your life.
Yes.
There you go.
Awesome. Okay, so we're at the end of the show. I'd like to thank everybody that joined us here. And Diane Jane, I loved your responses, and we just may have you on the show.
We might. Yes, we might.
Yes. So everybody, thank you very, very much. Check
us out.
Too. We're all over the place, really. But we have coming up on Friday on the OTCR, we have Tess Segura. So if you'd like to join us then, she's on at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. Okay, so come check her out there. And we have Peg. Peg just had her show, and I'd like to thank Peg for all she contributes. And
thanks, Peg.
Yes. And Jan, thank you very much for allowing me to join you and sharing with everybody. So love and light, God bless, and be safe and take care out there, people.
Behave yourself, Sprinkles.
I try. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Love you.
Love you.